How's it going, and welcome to today's video, which is not going to be a vlog like usual. So if you're here looking for a vlog, just come back with the next video, because this one is actually going to be more of a response to a previous sleep apnea video that I put up like over a year ago. So if you want a vlog, I'll see you next time. And if you're here for the weight loss video, welcome to the video. Now, my sleep apnea video actually got a whole heck of a lot of positive response. A lot of people really liked it. They really felt that the video was encouraging and they enjoyed hearing my story, which was why I told the whole story in the first place. I didn't just say, this is how I did it, and make a 1 or 2 minute long video. I wanted to tell the story from beginning to end so that other people who have been struggling with sleep apnea can then feel encouraged. And I think I accomplished that for the most part with this video. There is a small contingent of douchebags who like to watch the video, they feel entitled, they wish that I had gotten to the point in the first 2 minutes, and they get upset and they leave in the comments, took you long enough to get to the point, and then they write like what time, like around the 9-minute mark, I actually get to the point about it being weight loss. I delete all those comments. And you're a dickhead for doing that in the first place, because this video is to encourage other people who are going through or have gone through the same thing that I've gone through. So stop doing it, because I'm gonna keep deleting them. Now, how I lost my weight is actually really simple. For breakfast and for lunch, I didn't have any carbohydrates. It's actually a diet. I called it the cupcake diet. It's actually called the carbohydrate addicts diet. And what that means is for breakfast and for lunch, you have zero carbohydrates. Don't even touch them. Don't even look at them. Don't even think about touching or looking at them. Stay away from carbohydrates for breakfast and for lunch, but you need to have equal portions of protein and vegetable, not carby vegetables, and don't have meat that has carbohydrates in it, like the breading or whatever. You have to stay away from carbs, but have equal portions of protein and vegetable for breakfast and for lunch. That means, for example, argument's sake, I would have an omelet for breakfast. I would have 2 eggs. I would have chopped up mushroom. I'd have some broccoli in there. Maybe I'd have some hot peppers or something like that, all inside of this delicious omelet. Mwah! It was delicious. Then for lunch, for example, I would have a salad. So I would have a lot of lettuce, and then I would have like a skinless chicken breast and maybe 1 spoonful of a low carb salad dressing. Now, when I say stay away from carbs, that's a rule, yes, but you are allowed 4 grams of carbohydrates when it's not a reward meal. But 4 grams is almost nothing. Like, I really want you to understand that 4 grams of carbohydrates is very little, and you can't go over 4 grams. I'm not sure why it's 4 grams. You have to ask the originators of the diet. It's 4 grams, and I followed it. Then for dinner, you have your reward meal, which is, as opposed to breakfast and lunch being equal portions of a protein and vegetable, you have an equal portions of protein, vegetable, and carb. You actually can have your carbohydrates. That's why it's called a reward meal, because you get to reward yourself with carbs. Now for dinner, what I would typically have, for example, would be some vegetables like broccoli or cauliflower or something like that. And then I would have my meat, my protein portion, which would be a chicken, beef, or pork product in general. And then for my carbohydrates, I would either just have a cupcake and ice cream with some icing on top of the cupcake, or I would have a cupcake with some icing and then maybe some rice off to the side, some slower carbs, something like that. But they've got to be an equal portion. And this is the important part right now. You only have the carbohydrates in a 1-hour period. That's it. You don't have them before that, and you don't have them after that. So once an hour, every 24 hours, you get to have your carbohydrates. When I started that diet, I was around 333, and that diet took me to around the 260, 265 mark. I would hover kind of around in there, you know, that 5-pound mark, but it really did take me down that far. Now, this diet was good for a lot of reasons, because A, I knew it was going to work. For me, it was a foolproof diet because I saw my wife do this diet before we got married, and she lost 67 pounds on it. Another reason why this diet is also incredibly good is you can get full. Being hungry is the enemy of weight loss, because when you're hungry, you make stupid decisions, kind of like going to the grocery store and trying to buy your groceries while you're also hungry. There's a lot of impulse buying that happens at that point. And the same thing happens when you're trying to diet and then you're hungry all the time. You're gonna make impulse decisions and just eat things you shouldn't. and you don't have that problem on this diet. You can get full, no problem. Just stay away from the carbs, except for on the reward meal time. Now, knowing that the diet that I was currently on, the cupcake diet, had only taken me so far and was only going to take me so far, I started at 333 and then I worked my way down to around 260, and then I kept creeping back up to 265. I could never get down below 260 on that diet. Like, no matter how hard I pushed, no matter how good I was, it wasn't going any further. And the beauty of this diet was I didn't need to do any kind of exercise to lose the weight. There was absolutely zero exercise. I just followed the diet, and the pounds at first just melted off like butter. 30 pounds in the first 2 months, gone. So because the pounds were no longer melting off, they weren't even dripping off in slow motion, I knew I had to make a big change, and that's exactly what I did. And you're not gonna like what I had to do to get there. I had to actually exercise and count my calories, which is something that people hate. They're like, counting calories, well, that didn't work for me. Well, my question to you is, did you do it right? And I'm gonna tell you what I did, and you can answer down in the comments what you think, and if it did or didn't work for you, or if it is or isn't working for you. But I'm just gonna give you my story about it, and you can do what you want with it. So for me, I use an app called MyFitnessPal. When you first install the app, which you can get on the Google Store or on the Apple Store, asks you, how much do you weigh currently? How old are you? What is your height? And then what is your age? And what is your goal? So it asks you these questions, and you input the numbers. And it says, all right, well, 6'2", 37 years old, you should probably be having about 1730 for calories. That's roughly what you should be having to lose weight. So it keeps track of your daily calories, how much you've burned, and how much you've eaten. And it even has a little thing off to the side that tells you how many calories you burned due to exercise as well. Now, by now you're probably saying counting calories is something I've tried, it's not gonna work, it's a pain in the ass. It does work. It's basic math. Calories in versus calories out. How many calories you take in versus how many you use, how many you burn. It's not rocket science. I also wear a Fitbit. Now, with the Fitbit, I keep track of absolutely every single calorie I burn wearing this Fitbit. It does an amazing job. People that are saying, oh, the Fitbit doesn't work, it's no good. Well, guess what? I have one, it does work. I'm living proof. I use it absolutely every single day, and it's made my life 110% better. If you can afford to go out and get a Fitbit, preferably one that has a heart monitor in it, seriously, go out and get one. Like, instead of spending that money on that video game that you want to get, go out and get a Fitbit. Instead of spending that money on anything else for entertainment purposes, seriously, go out and get a Fitbit. It's worth it. Now, the Fitbit monitors my heart rate, it monitors absolutely every step that I've taken, and the Fitbit app actually can pair with the MyFitnessPal app, and they work together. And so when I go for a big walk and I burn 450 to 480 calories, I then go into my MyFitnessPal app, and it knows that I burned those calories, and it adds them to the calories burned column in MyFitnessPal. Now, for the fitness part of our weight loss journey, it's actually pretty simple. My wife and I go on 2 3-mile walks every single day, one in the morning, one in the evening, and then we actually will exercise during the day. So I do a lot of work on my computer, but I will get up and put on the punk rock, some NoFX or some Green Day, and I'll just bebop around and bounce around and get my heart rate up. Typically in a day, I will get around 20,000 steps in a day, sometimes a bit less, sometimes a couple thousand more, but around 20,000 is what I usually get in a day. And that burns a whole lot of calories. So get that heart rate up and try not to sit around loafing, but get yourself moving. And I guarantee you, it'll get easier the more you do it. I know a lot of people say that kind of thing, but it really is true. The more you put into this, the more you will get out of it, and the better you will feel when you do it. Now, here's the thing though. To do all this, you have to eat less calories. There's a sacrifice. You cannot just have what you want all the time when you want. You need to make a sacrifice of what you're going to eat at times. And it's the same thing with your exercise. To have that exercise requires time. It's a trade-off. If you want to lose the weight, then you need to exercise as well. Therefore, you need to dedicate a certain amount of time in your day to the exercising. And that might mean cutting out Netflix and chill or something like that, or maybe video game time, but it's worth it because I tell you something, that game, that Netflix and chill, whatever it is you're doing is not worth your health. It's not worth the quality of life that you deserve to have while you're alive on this earth. You really need to take care of your body. And for me, after the previous diet kind of plateaued, exercise and watching what I ate really became the answer. But do you want to know how much weight I've lost since I was 265? Right now, I'm 232 pounds as of this day. That's how much weight I've lost. Ask me how long I've been doing this for to lose that weight. 2 months. In 2 months, I've changed my body by 30 pounds. I've upped my metabolism. I feel better. I feel stronger. And I'm enjoying my life so much more. Everything is a trade-off, my friends. And the simple question is, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? What are you willing to do to achieve your goals? And I can't answer that. You need to answer that for yourself. I just hope that you eventually do decide to change your life for the better. Because I know for myself, and this is what ties into the sleep apnea video, losing all that weight enabled me to not only have a healthier life and a happier life and probably a longer life, but it also enabled me to conquer sleep apnea. And I no longer use that CPAP machine because all night, every night, I breathe deep, long breaths. And it's wonderful. And my body's thanking me for it, and my family is thanking me for it, for losing that weight. Anyhow, friends, that's all the time I have to make this video today. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. It means so much to me. I really hope that you can take something home with you from this video and apply it to your life. I hope that you feel encouraged, and I hope that you realize that it is possible and you are worth it after watching this video. If you have anything to say at all, please leave it in the comments down below. If you like this video, please slap a like on it. If you think you'd like to see more content from myself and this channel, then hit the subscribe button and you'll never miss a video. And I'll see you next time. Toodaloo!